And we are going live in five, four, three, two, one. Good morning, Owasso. This is Corey with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. Chad is still out and away doing other things, so I am here struggling and soldiering on, trying to figure out how to do this on my own. It currently is 8 a.m. like usual. It is about 75, actually 77 degrees out. We got another excessive heat warning again today. We got a high of 98, almost 100 degrees. It'll probably feel hotter than that. So be prepared. It will be a little windy out today, so maybe it won't feel as hot because of the wind, but I don't know. It's going to get pretty darn warm today. High at 98 again. So be prepared for that. It's going to be even hotter tomorrow, 100 degrees Saturday. So be prepared for a rather warm weekend, folks. So, that being said, traffic conditions going into Tulsa are pretty fair. There's really no congestion or anything like that. It's actually pretty nice. Like, again, Friday is not the day for traffic going into Tulsa. Just people don't, like, a lot more people work from home, or Friday's a day off for a lot of folks. I don't know. So, it's just not the way it used to be. So, that being said, no real changes in the local events. You got the artisan market coming up this weekend, but if you're gonna go to that, stay cool and make sure you have a large water source with you. You're gonna need to stay hydrated out there. So I suggest pools or outdoor. Maybe a movie might be a better option this weekend, but definitely going swimming might be an option, or a lake day. Again, just stay hydrated though. So that being said, we're gonna push right on into national news, and I don't know if y'all saw, but the presidential debate, the first presidential debate not hosted by the Presidential Debate Association or whatever. It's a presidential debate hosted specifically by CNN for CNN, and I don't know. I mean, if you guys can see the title I made and the Babylon Bee article here, it's like Trump charged for elderly abuse, and the Babylon Bees is Trump indicted for murdering an elderly man on CNN. So it was not a good showing for Joe. He looked tired. He looked haggard. They put out that he had a cold. I guess that could be a valid excuse, but I mean, I think he's just a doddering old man at this point. So, uh, he's too old to be doing this. He's too old to be up there on stage, and it's the same as Ruth Bader Ginsburg. They're gonna keep him up there, and they'll have their little puppets and minions running the show in the background, and he is just a puppet figure. He's just someone they can have up there to do the job or look like someone's doing the job while the shadowy deep state figures run the show in the background. So that's what Joe Biden is. That's what Ruth Bader Ginsburg was. That is what Dianne Feinstein and her old butt is over there in San Francisco. I mean, it is the party of the old and the party of the deep state, and that's what's going on. That's what you're seeing. So sad state of affairs that we have here, but I mean, it is what it is, and that's just kind of the way. But I got some good stuff for us to check out here. So first things first. Uh, let me pull up this video here. So my sister actually sent me this morning, and oh, it's already playing curses. There you go. But yeah, if anybody wants to know how the debate went, that's how the debate went last night. I mean, what makes it even funnier is they were talking about golf. Like Biden was like, "I'm a six handicap," and Trump was like, sure you are, sure you are. You're probably an eight. I'll give you an eight." So I mean, that's the level of debate we were having last night. It was so funny. I mean, it was very enjoyable to watch. I mean, especially if you're a Trump fan, it was a very enjoyable debate to watch. If you are a Joe Biden fan, he had one or two decent licks on Trump in there, but overall, he looked tired, old, and haggard up there on stage. And you just gotta feel bad for the guy. He's just so old. He's too old to be up there. He's too old to be doing that. I'm surprised he didn't need to stop and take a bathroom break while he was up there too. So it is it's sad. It's a sad state of affairs, but I mean that's what you get. The Democratic Party is so invested in this that they're going to run this guy into the ground. But what's interesting too is while the debate was happening live, Trump was surging in the polls. But what was interesting was in the Democratic nominations. I mean, obviously, Biden is the candidate. Biden is the polls, but Gavin Newsom, who is the governor of California, surged 10 points in the polls for the Democratic Party that night during the debate, mid debate. So, I mean, Gavin Newsom was there too. He was at the debate. So, what's going on there? I mean, they had emergency staff on standby in case something were to happen. What was going to happen? Were they expecting Joe Biden to, like, collapse on stage? I mean, they're both old, don't get me wrong, but it's just weird that they said, we have emergency personnel on standby. Well, it's only Trump, Biden, and all of their team and faculties in there. What do they need to have emergency personnel on standby for? I mean, the Secret Service has already got the perimeter secure. Are they expecting someone to sneak in? I don't know. It was just very strange, all the protocols they had in place. And again, this debate itself was very strange. And I was shocked at how decently the moderators were. However, if you noticed during the debate, Jake Tapper cut Joe Biden off a couple of times when he just started kind of rambling. Like, he was like, that's enough, President Biden. We're done. So they were saving him from himself, because anytime Biden got the chance to talk and talk too long, he started stuttering, mumbling, doing the things that you expect an old person to do. And in fact, I'll pull this over. D-Day Cobra posted this. I really like D-Day Cobra. Hold tight.
The total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look,
the total initiative relative to what we're going to do.
I mean, Trump is right. And there was a lot of times Joe was talking, and I was just like, I don't know what he's saying either. I don't know what's relevant about what he's speaking about. So that was a lot of what the debate looked like for poor old Sleepy Joe. That is not a good thing. It's not a good thing for America. It's not a good thing for Joe Biden himself. It's not a good thing for the Democratic Party. But I mean, if you're a Republican, it's like, yeah, that was a great debate for anybody who's a Trump supporter and for the Republican Party as a whole. I mean, that was terrible. And speaking of someone, I mean, I recently lost a family member who was up there in years, who was in his almost 100. And he had dementia and got violent as he got older. And Joe Biden reminds me of that. He just kind of stotters around, walks around, doesn't know really what he's doing. And it's sad. That's why you got to have empathy for this kind of stuff. But again, you don't have empathy for the people who are running the show behind him, because they are forcibly leaving this guy up. And I'm sure he's happy to. Don't get me wrong. Joe is of his own pride. He is up there and thinking he's still spry and well enough to do this. But those of us who have been around old people, and those of us who have assisted people with the final stages of their life, know that's kind of what it looks like. Joe is what it looks like. Trump, not so much. But it's just interesting times we live in. And again, it's the deep state taking advantage of an old man who's happy to be there, mind you. But so they can get away and pass as much legislation and do as much shadowy things in the background that they can get away with while he's there. And I said, or sabotage the entire country so Trump inherits a huge mess and he can't possibly fix it in the 4 years he's got to be there. So it's not good. It's not good for America, and again, it's not good for the Democratic Party either. But again, if power is the only thing that matters, then the deep state's going to do what the deep state's going to do. So, and for those of you who are Biden supporters, for those of you who think he's doing well, because like I said, he did have a couple of good zingers in there, Biden. Like, I'm not telling you, I mean, it was Trump's debate. I'm going to tell you that right now. Granted, I am totally biased. But Biden did get some zingers in there and got some good hits in on Trump. So I'm giving you that. The point is, they weren't memorable. That's the problem. Like, they're not going to be standout moments. Like, so you got 2 standout moments for Biden, and you got like 7 or 8 for Trump. Like, there was a good one where Biden was rambling about Medicaid, and he was like, "Yeah, we gotta beat it. We beat the Medicaid." And then Trump literally just turns and goes, "Yeah, you beat it to death, Joe." So, I mean, it's just good stuff. Good old American fun right there. That is what debates are. So like Trump was in fantastic form. But for those of you who are Biden supporters, I've got something for you too. So uh here is a good little.
He's already achieved so much, and yet he's still goal-oriented and still focused. And he has a 5-year plan.
What is it? Don't die?
He's already
Sorry. Liberal white women when they gas up Sleepy Joe. He's got a 5-year plan. What is it? Don't die? Oh, I love that, man. That's classic. Good old Adam Sandler and Big Daddy. But yeah, that is a great movie, great scene, and that is very relevant to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign right now, man. That is the plan. Don't die. They got to just keep him alive. And again, there was an article written back in the 2020 campaign where I think it was either a New York Times journalist or Washington Post, but they just said, "We don't need you, Joe. We don't need your you as a candidate. We just need your corporeal form to cross the finish line." That's it. They didn't care about his policies. They didn't care about his record. They just said, "We don't need a candidate. We just need Joe Biden's corporeal form to cross the finish line." That was an article written back in 2020. So, I mean, I guess you get what you voted for, I suppose. But yeah. So again, it's not about policy. It's just about being anti-Trump, and that's how Joe Biden won. It was the anti-Trump campaign, and he's still running the same campaign against Trump that he ran in 2020, and it's not going to work because Joe Biden had 4 years to do his thing, and the country's falling apart. I can't get out of the grocery store under $100. Gas is sitting about $3.15 over there at Casey's near my place. So that's what matters. That's what's going to matter to the American people, what they can afford, how they can feed their family, and if we can buy houses. I mean, houses went up a boatload. I mean, my girlfriend paid about $400K for a house that I thought would have been worth $250K 4 years ago. So there you go. That's the problem. That's what's going on right now, and that's what we're left with. So let me know what you thought about the debate. Let me know in the comments down below. Live chat to the show while we're streaming. It was a good debate. It was a fun debate, and I look forward, and I hope that they have another one real soon because that was that was most enjoyable, at least for me, and I think the vast majority of Trump's for. So that's about all we got. I just wanted to go over that because I think that was a historic moment because, again, it was the first debate done that way without a live audience with just CNN moderators. And I was surprised at the CNN moderators that they seemed to be relatively fair, but they did save Joe Biden a handful of times in there by cutting him off and saying, "Joe, stop talking." So not literally saying, "Joe, stop talking," but telling him, "Hey, Mr. President, your time's up," even though his time clearly wasn't up. So, but yeah, I'm excited, and I'm hoping that the momentum for Trump stays strong, and I'm hoping that they just keep running with Joe, keep Sleepy Joe in there. But again, that's all we got for you today. Let us know what you thought about the debate below, and this is Corey with Owasso Live. I'll be signing off. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and so you too can stay in the loop. God bless you, and have a wonderful day, folks.